YouTube. Losing Louie back with you, and thank you so much for tuning in to another video. I do appreciate it. This is another episode of Weird Ass Wednesday, and we're going to bring you some coins I bought back in 2015. Back in the day, Perth Mint had just begun exploring some of these coins. And one of the earlier releases they had was the Star Trek series. And series, and that's what we have here. We have the 3 Star Trek coins. This is the original 3 from the 2015 release. Captain Kirk, the Star Trek Enterprise, and Spock. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these. Make sure you can see each one of them. The packaging was really awesome on these coins. And you know, I think they worked a little bit harder on these releases in the past to make sure that, you know, you were really impressed with the packaging. There was, not only were there individual coins, there were also 2 coin sets that came in cool transporters, etc. And this one comes in its own lighted display case. Okay, so that's what they look like on the inside. Here is the COA. And just generally, I will tell you that these are 999 silver. They are legal tender in Tuvalu, and a limited edition of 5,000 on these 1 ounce 3/9s Star Trek inspired coins. So fairly low mintage on these, and a really popular series. Here is number 1943. And there are the specs on that, if you want to pause that. But let's go ahead and get into the coin, this one being the Enterprise itself. You know, before Star Wars, and before all the other interesting space stories, there was Star Trek. Now, on this one here, there is a light switch and a battery. I don't know if that battery is still good, but that is meant to illuminate this. There we go. All right, so that's the effect they were going for. Actually, a light-up display case, but it's a cool little display case. The coin does pop out of here, so let's go ahead and do that. And there is a close-up of this colorized coin. There were not as many colorized coins back there, back in 2015. And when I bought these, I certainly didn't realize that they were going to flood the market with this kind of thing. I was very disappointed to see all of the different releases of Star Trek. But the first release, you know, and I do like first releases, was really impressive, and to an old Star Trek boy like me, I just loved it. I just loved it, and I bought it. Most people did not. All right, let me close that one back up, turn off that. The batteries are holding well, aren't they? And let me show you the other 2 while I talk. You know, back in the day, for us baby boomers, there weren't that many TV shows, right? I mean, you didn't have all of the choices that you had today. And Star Trek was one of the original forward-thinking TV shows. Matter of fact, it all came out of the mind of Gene Roddenberry. He actually made this stuff up, and it had some of the best social commentary of the era. And not to mention just a really fun cast and good concept. So if you were looking for role models as a young boy or girl, then you could do a lot worse than some of these guys. Because they were, for the most part, they were colorblind, they were income blind, they were just out to do good in the universe. And this guy here, one of my favorites. And here he is, Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock. Let's see if we can light him up. Ah, there he goes. Okay, so he's lighting up. He's in there a little backwards, but there's his light up case. He was the third release, I believe. I think it came out Kirk, Enterprise, and then they followed up with Spock. As I recall, Spock was a little more limited because he did not come in the teleporter set. Someone to inspire you. And then you had this guy, James T. Kirk, this Canadian who came in and took America by storm in this series, which was not actually terribly long-lived in the beginning, actually was canceled. But what they found is that the acting and the writing and the concepts of the show were very, very much appropriate for the 60s. And so, I think James T. Kirk wound up being a role model to a lot of young people. A lot of young people of that era. Here's his information, also 5,000 of this. And there he is, William Shatner, James T. Kirk. This is the last one I'll show you, so we'll give him his due with his light-up honors. These coins do jump around in here a little bit. They rotate and so forth. There is James T. Kirk. All right, there he is at the helm with a quizzical look, as he usually had, as he tried to solve the dilemmas of the universe. And there is the Queen again. Very nice. So high. So there is Captain Kirk going back in his home. There we go. And that is all three of these on point. But that is the Star Trek series, the original release, 5,000 each from 2015. And not everybody has one of those, but I sure do. All right, so that is this episode of Weird Ass Wednesday. I thank you very, very much for tagging along, and we are out of here.